Let us be honest. There is probably at least one habit in your life right now that you do not like. Maybe you check your phone every 2 minutes. Maybe you procrastinate until the last moment. Maybe you eat when you are not hungry. Maybe you say, "Tomorrow I will change." And tomorrow looks exactly like today. You are not stupid. You are not weak. You are caught inside a habit loop. Today, we are going to explore how bad habits actually work inside your brain, why pure willpower almost never works for long, and practical steps you can use to gently but powerfully break bad habits and build better ones instead. Not by hating yourself, but by understanding your mind and designing new patterns that feel possible in real life. And before we start, if you enjoy content that goes deeper than just be disciplined and shows you how behavior really works, take a moment to like this video and subscribe. That simple action tells the platform and tells me to keep bringing you real training for your brain, not just motivational phrases. Now, Part 1. Bad habits are not moral failures. They are automatic solutions. We often think about bad habits as proof that we are lazy, weak, broken. But from your brain's perspective, a habit is simply an automatic solution to a repeated situation. You feel bored. You open social media. You feel stressed. You eat something sweet. You feel tired. You watch videos late at night. Your brain notices. In this situation, this action makes us feel better quickly. So it saves the pattern to use again next time. Habit. The problem is not that your brain is evil. The problem is that some of these automatic solutions have hidden costs. Lost time, lost health, lost sleep. Breaking bad habits is not about beating yourself up. It is about offering your brain better solutions for the same situations. Part 2. The habit loop. Cue, routine, reward. Most habits follow a simple structure often called the habit loop. Cue, routine, reward. Let us look at each part. Cue is the trigger. It can be external. A notification, a time of day, a place, or internal. A feeling, a thought, a physical sensation. Routine is the behavior you repeat. Scrolling, eating, smoking, procrastinating. Reward is what your brain receives. Pleasure, comfort, escape, relaxation. Even with bad habits, there is always a reward. If there was not, you would not do it again and again. So to break a habit, you must understand its loop. What is the cue? What is the routine? What is the reward? Most people only try to delete the routine. Stop doing this. But if you do not see and redesign the cue and reward, your brain will fight back. Part 3. Why willpower alone almost always fails. You probably know this dialogue. You say, "From tomorrow, I will never do this again." You feel strong, motivated. 3 days later, you slip. You feel guilty. You conclude, "I have no discipline." But here is what is happening. Willpower is like a muscle. It can help you in short bursts, but it gets tired during the day as you make decisions, manage stress, and resist temptations. Habits, on the other hand, are automatic. They require almost no conscious energy. So you are trying to fight a strong automatic pattern with a weak temporary force. Of course, it is hard. The solution is not to become a superhero. It is to design your environment and routines so that you need less willpower, not more. Part 4. Identify one habit, not 10. When people decide to change, they often create a big list. Stop this, start that, change everything. And then they get overwhelmed. Your brain does not like massive change all at once. It prefers specific, focused change. So choose one habit you want to work on first. Not all of them. Maybe. Checking your phone at every small break, or eating late at night, or skipping important tasks until the last minute. Write it down clearly. Habit I want to change. I do this, usually at these times. In these situations. This clarity is the first step. Part 5. Observe the cue. When does the habit start? Now become a detective. For a few days, do not try to change the habit yet. Just watch it. Each time you do it, ask yourself, what was happening just before? For example, you open your phone and scroll. Was the cue a notification? Silence in the room? Boredom? An uncomfortable task? You eat something you do not need? Was the cue stress, loneliness, passing the kitchen, seeing an ad? You procrastinate? Was the cue fear of the task, confusion about where to start? The thought, this will be difficult. Write down what you notice. You are mapping your habit loop. Part 6. Discover the real reward. What does the habit give you? Ask yourself, why does this habit keep coming back? Remember, habits survive because they deliver a reward. Even if the habit is unhealthy, the reward is often emotional. Relief, comfort, distraction, feeling busy. For example, scrolling social media late at night might give you. Escape from stressful thoughts. Eating junk food might give you. A fast burst of pleasure and a moment of comfort. Procrastinating might give you temporary relief from anxiety about the task. When you understand the real reward, you are prepared to replace the habit with something that gives a similar reward but with less damage. Part 7. You cannot delete a habit. You must replace it. Many people try to break habits by saying, I will stop, and they leave a space, empty. But the cue and the need for reward are still there. So your brain searches for something to fill the space. Often, it chooses the old habit again. It is much easier to replace a habit than to remove it without replacement. This is called substitution. Same cue, new routine, similar reward. For example, cue, stress at work, old routine, scrolling social media for 20 minutes. Old reward, escape, mental numbness, new routine, take a 5-minute walk, do 10 deep breaths, drink water and stretch, new reward, physical relief, mental reset. Is it perfect? No, but it gives your brain a different path to follow when the cue appears. Part 8. Make the bad habit harder. Make the good habit easier. Environment is powerful. If a habit is extremely convenient, you will do it almost automatically. If a habit requires effort, you will hesitate. So to break bad habits, you can modify your environment to create friction for the bad habit and reduce friction for the good one. For example, if you always check your phone in bed, do not charge your phone next to your bed. Charge it in another room. If you eat snacks late at night, do not keep those snacks in the most visible place. Or do not buy them at all. If you procrastinate because your workspace is chaotic, simplify your desk so that the task you need to do is the easiest thing to start. Small changes in environment can change habits more effectively than big motivational speeches. Part 9. Use tiny commitments, not giant promises. We love big promises. From now on, I will go to the gym every day. From Monday, I will study 3 hours of English every night. These promises feel exciting, but they are often unsustainable. Habits are built by consistency, not intensity. So instead, Create tiny commitments. I will walk for 10 minutes after lunch. I will study English for 10 minutes after dinner. I will check social media only after I finish this task. Once the small habit is stable, you can slowly increase the duration. Your brain resists big changes much more than small ones. Part 10. Plan for slips. And remove guilt. No habit change is perfectly clean. You will slip. You will repeat the old pattern sometimes. This is normal. The danger is not the slip. It is what you tell yourself after the slip. If you say, "See, I failed again. I will never change," you feel hopeless, and you are more likely to give up completely. If you say, "Okay, I slipped. Why? What was the cue? What was I feeling? What can I adjust?" Then the slip becomes information, not proof that you are broken. Breaking bad habits requires self-honesty, but also self-compassion. You are changing systems that may have been there for years. Of course, it will not be perfect. Part 11. Create identity signals. Who are you becoming? Habits do not exist alone. They are connected to identity. If you see yourself as someone who is always late, you will unconsciously act in ways that match this identity. If you see yourself as someone who takes care of their body, you are more likely to choose behaviors that fit that image. When you break a bad habit, ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be instead? Then create small signals of that identity. For example, you want to be someone who reads instead of always scrolling. Place a book on your bedside table. You want to be someone who moves daily. Keep your walking shoes visible. You want to be someone who respects their own time. Set boundaries around distractions and say out loud, "I do not check my phone when I'm working." These actions tell your brain, "This is who I am now." Part 12. Use the 2 times rule. There is a simple rule to protect good habits from dying after one slip. Do not miss 2 times in a row. If you usually exercise 3 times a week and you miss once, accept it. Then make sure you do not miss the next planned time. If you usually study English each evening and you skip one night, do not panic. Just return the next night. This rule keeps your habit alive even with small interruptions. Instead of thinking, "I must be perfect," you think, "I must be consistent enough." Part 13. Use replacement habits for your mind, not only your actions. Some bad habits are physical, others are mental. For example, overthinking, worrying, negative self-talk. These too are habits. The cue might be a problem, a mistake, a social situation, the routine. You repeat negative thoughts, the reward. You feel like you are doing something, even if it is not helpful. To break mental habits, you can replace them with better routines. For example, cue. You make a mistake. Old routine. I am stupid. I always do this. New routine. I made a mistake. What can I learn? What is one small thing I can do now? You are training a new mental habit. This can change your emotional life as much as changing physical habits. Part 14. A simple 30-day plan to break one bad habit. Let us turn this into a practical plan for 30 days, focused on one habit. Step 1. Choose the habit. Write. This is the habit I want to change first. Describe when, where, and how it usually happens. Step 2. Map the loop for 1 week. For 7 days, every time you do the habit, note the cue, the routine, the reward you feel. Do not judge, just observe. Step 3. Design a replacement routine. Choose one or two alternative actions you can take when the cue appears that give a similar reward with less damage. Make them realistic. Step 4. Change your environment. Remove or reduce objects and triggers that make the bad habit easy. Add objects that make the new habit easy. Step 5. Use tiny commitments. Promise yourself small, specific actions. For example, when I feel the urge to scroll, I will first do 5 deep breaths and stand up for 1 minute. Step 6. Apply the 2 times rule. If you slip, do not miss the next chance. Return quickly. Step 7. Track your progress. Each day, write 1 line. Today, I did the new habit this many times. I slipped this many times. Celebrate effort, not perfection. At the end of 30 days, compare day 1 to day 30. Notice changes in frequency, intensity, and how you feel. You may not be completely free from the habit yet, but you will probably have much more control and awareness. As we move toward the end, remember, breaking bad habits is not about becoming a different person overnight. It is about understanding how your current patterns operate and then gently redirecting them toward behaviors that serve your future self. You are not your bad habits. You are the one who can observe them, question them, and change them. Even small changes in one habit can create big changes over time in your health, your work, your relationships, and your sense of freedom. If this video helped you see your habits more clearly and gave you a path to change them, take a moment to like this video and subscribe. And in English, write in the comments. What is one bad habit you want to work on first, and what is one small replacement action you can try when the cue appears? Write the habit. Write the replacement, because change does not start with perfection. It starts with one honest decision, one small action, repeated until your brain begins to say, "This is what we do now." And step by step, your life can begin to reflect not the habits you built by accident, but the habits you chose with awareness, kindness, and a clear vision of the person you are becoming.